The Allmark influence, Michael, I thought in watching it has been as much mental as physical. The physical part, he's won games for you. But the mental part, not being back there going, here we go again, if something went wrong. He's won before and seemed to be a calming influence. Is that fair?
Totally. I mean, I don't know, for a coach it may not be, but
yeah.
certainly from the individual's perspective.
There's no woe is me.
He's strong. What's that?
There's no woe is me back there. He's fresh to it, and he's starting with a clean slate.
Yeah, for sure.
What did you after Four Nations? What did you make of all the chatter that Brady's, the Florida talk, all this stuff? You had to say something publicly at some point. Brady Tkachuk's a senator for a long time, isn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, he's he's a heart and soul. You talked about earlier on about, what's the identity and I mean, he wears it on his sleeve. And, and interestingly enough, you mentioned, making the playoffs when I wasn't in Columbus when Montreal beat Detroit and we were playing Columbus that night, and I called, but we clinched that night, and I called Steve Staios to congratulate him. And my next contact was Brady, to say how happy I was for him and all. And he is so hungry for the playoffs. He just, so he's a heart and soul. He wears it on his sleeve. I mean, obviously people have seen him play. Obviously you mentioned the Four Nations. It's, how he stood out. But what I just didn't like is the antics of how sometimes, to me, media writes things and sometimes they get it from good sources, and you guys have access to great sources, and enough was enough, because of the lifeblood of the Ottawa Senators are our fans, and our fans get influenced by what's written or what they read, and for me, with the history of the organization and what they've gone through, for me, it was important to let the world know and Brady know that we're committed to him.
So did you talk to Brady before you went public?
Before I went public?
We're just saying something about all the
rumors. No. It's not for Brady. Actually, Brady, it wasn't for. No, absolutely not. I wouldn't. Actually, I did speak to him subsequently to that. He found out, and certainly we have a great relationship with all the players. I try to have that great relationship with them, to know that I care more, than the average owner. But he understood. And he, just basically, just block the noise out and let's move forward. But yeah.
Before we let you go, I read this morning you have extended your naming rights deal with Canadian Tire for this arena. Does that lead you to the next arena?
That's a big question mark. No, great. Canadian Tire is a wonderful partner. Have been, and hopefully we represent them well. The next arena is a big question mark. It's a long process, and I'm glad we made, process of making the playoffs is a lot quicker than getting an arena. But ultimately, yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take. I know our fans want it, and we're all in this together. I know I'm glad to be a catalyst to making this happen, and it's going to be a collaborative effort between all parties to make this arena happen. But the naming rights has no, I guess they have rights to the new arena. But when is the arena going to actually happen? When we're going to drop the puck is a question to be. Calgary. Look how long it took Calgary, for example, right?
So you're a long way away. Then it's not something we're not talking about shovels in the ground next year?
No, definitely not next year. But certainly we're along the way, and that's the positive part. That's the positive thing, is just keep the communication lines open and let's keep progress. But there's so many lines of you have to go through so many different levels of whatever.
Well, I tell you what, I know you got to go. There's two guys. I just have to mention their name, because if I don't mention their name, I feel bad, because they're such good people, and I think they've helped your organization. And that's the return of Cyril Leader, who has been magnificent. I mean, when I was running hockey night, Cyril was the man, and then took a lot of flack from your predecessor, and Dave Poulin, who again is an old friend who I tried to offer a job to 25 years ago. So those two guys have really helped this organization with stability and helped you and Steve along the way, haven't they?
Well, they certainly embody what I see as a first class organization.
Were you a better golfer? Were you a better golfer than a goalie, or a better goalie than a golfer?
Well, it's all depends on whose perspective it is. I don't know.
I always thought that
I'll leave it at that.
Hockey should have handicaps too. So if you're getting a goaltender, what are you? Are you a scratch, or are you a plus 12? I know what I am. I'm on the plus side of it. Michael, congratulations! So excited to see you guys back in it, and for Travis, for your whole group, and I can't wait to see what the young group offers in their first playoff experience.
Thanks so much, Darren. Thanks, John. Thanks for having me.
Good luck.
Thank you.
That's a great mask too, by the way. That's a great mask.
I am tired. That's all I hear about is goalie masks, Michael. Drives me nuts.
See you, pal.
All good. Cheers, guys.